Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cardinal Sports Complex for CTN's inaugural broadcast of the fall season here in 2018. It's the season opener for the Cardinal girls soccer team as they host conference rival Elk River. The Elks got their season started, a 2-1 loss in overtime against Brainerd on Friday, and they are chomping at the bit trying to get their first win in their conference opener now. And they get the opening possession, get the ball in deep, and trying to put a little bit pressure on the young Cardinals team. And, of course, this time of season, it's always interesting as the team's still trying to figure out what they have to work with, who's going to work best, what the best combinations are. And the Cardinals, of course, in their second season under Coach Carl Worley, and feeling like they still have a young team, but the pieces they lost, while very good quality players, they have a lot of younger talent coming up that will more than fill those holes, and feel they should be able to bring a more coordinated attack to the field this season and hopefully find a bit more success. Just 3 wins on the season for the Cardinals last year. They have their first real possession. Moving it through the midfield is Ritzenaya. Slide tackle takes it off her foot. Ritzenaya battling right at the stripe with Cole is trying to get it back. Elk River able to send it back near side. This is Barshdorf waiting for some support. Gets it from Red Penning, kicked away. And now Olivia Ellenbecker for the Cardinals, moving it ahead for Peyton Taylor. Taylor trying to get around the corner, look for a little bit of room. A little stutter step to find some space against Petra. Her centering pass, though, broken up. Stopped up there by Naomi Griffith for the Cardinals. Sends it back towards the middle. Stepping in to break up that pass and turn it away for the Elks is Paige Crawford. Elks trying to mount an attack along the far side. It's Carmen Galante sending it ahead. Ava Johnson running onto it. Can't get past Maddie Karen, who turns it around. Stopped up again by Galante. She sends it out front. Knocked down by Lodato. Elks putting a lot of numbers on the ball, deep in the attacking third, being very aggressive. Cardinals trying to counter. Passing their way back out. Ava Johnston for the Cardinals moves it ahead. Stopping up is Ellen Becker along the left side. Had to take it away from her. Elk River sends it back to the Cardinal half. Slowed there. They reverse field back to the near side where Rachel Crawford has it taken away by Naomi Griffith. Griffith pressured there by Red Penning, and Elk River able to control momentarily, but lost it out of bounds. And a throw in for the Cardinals. Griffith's throw just a little bit too far for Taylor. Turned around by the Elks. Booted along by Red Penning. Good touch passes by the Elks. A little tangled up there was Johnson, but got it turned around. A shot in and a goal early on for the Elks. Abby Barshdorf got it behind the defense and able to slip the left footer past the charging Gallegos and get the Elks on the board early in just the 4th minute of play. Good feed from Johnson once she was able to untangle it, and Barshdorf using her speed to get around the defender. Splits the defenders, puts the left foot past Gallegos, who was coming out to challenge. 1 shot, 1 goal. Elk River on the board. Coon Rapids needs to respond early. A little more than 3 minutes in, and Elk River has the lead. Coon Rapids has yet to get possession deep in the Elk River end. Elk's doing a nice job. A strong 3-player line across the defense has denied them any entry. This pass attempt by Griffiths squirts out of bounds. A throw in for the Elks. Scoring a big concern for the Cardinal club last season. And they are hoping they can find an answer for that this time around. Pass gets over the head of the defender, and here's Ellenbecker along the left side. His shot, not a lot on it. Pretty easy save for Jordan Benson, who just scoops it up and will now punt it away. Out near midfield, trying to settle it is Petra. Pushed ahead, Barsdorf trying to charge behind the defense of Karen again. Karen able to get there first, pokes it back toward midfield, but stopped up again by the Elks, and the Elks feeding back to Barsdorf. She touches it back. Cleared away by Lodato, and now pushed back out. Ellenbecker touches it around a defender and tries to use her speed to get down the sideline. Good hustle to slow her down by Callie Petra. In the middle is Peyton Taylor. Her pass broken up, turned around by Paige Crawford. Cardinals will bring it back to Captain Maddie Karen. Near side for Naomi Griffith. Got away from her a little bit. Broken up by Crawford and turned back upfield by Allie Gramstead. Right side attack now by Galante. Slows down, pushes it along for Johnston to run on. Karen will clear it out of bounds, out of danger. A throw in for the Elks. 6.5 minutes into the contest. Elk River with a 1-0 lead and keeping most of the possession deep in the Coon Rapids end. Talking to Coach Worley and the Cardinals in the preseason, they said the big thing they want to work on is possession and especially first touch, but also want to be able to string passes together and play a little bit more soccer in the opposing end and not be forced to play defense all the time. So far, Elk River is making them do just that. Izzy Haberman had it knocked away from her. Back it comes for Galante and the Elks. She resets for Schoenfelder. Played back to the last line of defense, and that one nearly broken up by a charging Ritsanaya. And now played ahead down the left wing, and Karen trying to get it away from Barsdorf. Didn't have enough on it to get it out of bounds. Crawford plays it toward the net, and there to make the save is Jalivia Gallegos. Elks impressive in their pressure so far. Really getting around the ball quickly and with numbers. Crawford turning it around this time. Stopped up by Mackenzie Nash for the Cardinals. She's able to play it along the near sideline. Therefore, it is Peyton Taylor, and now Naomi Griffith unable to keep it in bounds. A throw in for the Elks right in front of their own bench. Cardinals trying to get something going through the midfield. Rory Ritsanaya, good touch to get around. Trying to squeeze a pass through, but that was broken up. Elks coming back to defend, get the numbers, get possession, and now carrying up the far side is Paige Crawford. Long pass. Karen will get there first and just play it out of bounds. Beginning our 22nd year of covering high school sports here at Coon Rapids on CTN. Howie Shapiro couldn't be with me tonight. He's in the national semifinals for Pixie Sticks. And unfortunately, he's just watching online. Hope he's not the only one. We are going to have a special guest, though, later on for the latter part of the girls' game and also for the boys' game, as this is game one of a doubleheader. That one crossed all the way across, and Barsdorf will get there in front of Gallegos. Reset. Cross to the back post now, and Gallegos will come out and swallow it up as Kudzia was there to shield the ball and allow her goaltender to get to it. Again, the Elks able to retake possession quickly and turn it right back into the Cardinal end. Near side, Crawford. Shot right on, and another relatively easy save for Gallegos. Stopped up midfield by Ritzenaya. She'll play it back for Mackenzie Nash. She's pressured. Got it back, and then the pass from Johnston was broken up. Waiting for help is Galante. She'll play it to the far side. And Schoenfelder steps around a defender, gets a little bit of a corner, now crossing out front. Chance in tight for Johnson. And hit the side of the net just wide. And it'll be a goal kick for the Cardinals. First subs of the game, it's Anna Kepke coming in for the Cardinals, and near wholesale changes for the Elks. They'll put 5 fresh faces on the field. And certainly a benefit to your program if you can roll out those kind of numbers and still maintain the same type of play, especially early in the season as endurance comes into question a little bit more, although most of these girls have played soccer all summer long. Now 12 minutes into the first half. Elk River out shooting Coon Rapids 3-1 with a goal coming back in the 4th minute by Abby Barsdorf. And then the Elks have that 1-0 lead. Second game of the season for Elk River. They lost a 2-1 overtime game to Brainerd on Friday. Coon Rapids, this is the season opener. As Ritzenaya's tripped up, no call. Gets it ahead, though, for Ellenbecker. Her pass broken up. Turned around now by Peyton Meyer. Along the far side is Ava Johnson. Her pass ahead, lost out of bounds, and a Cardinal throw it. So look at Carl Hines Worley, the second-year coach for the Cardinals. Taylor trying to play it down the far sideline. Could not keep it in. A throw in for Elk River. Coach Worley is an interesting guy to talk to. Obvious passion for the game of soccer. Just very enthusiastic. And just loves being around the game, around the kids, and hoping that they become as passionate and enjoy the game as much as he does. Pass along the far side for Kepke. Knocked away from her. Elk River trying to turn back upfield. Trapped there by Leah Brown. She's pressured but gets some support. Play down the near side for McKaylin Hitty. She lost it, but again, good support from the Elks. Crossing and finding some open feet. Long shot well up over and out of play. Another goal kick coming up for the Cardinals. Lena Schoenfelder got underneath it a little bit. There's Brian Studer, the Elk River head coach, again trying to bounce back from that nail-biting loss. There's an opportunity from a good spot, but again, getting underneath it. This time, Peyton Colas puts it up and through the uprights. Another goal kick for the Cardinals. There he is. As long as we've been here, Red's been here longer. He's the #1 fan, waiting for something to cheer about here in the season opener for the girls soccer team. Pass not able to be settled by Ritzenaya along the near boards or near sideline. There are no boards in soccer, Joe. That's okay. It's first game of the year for me. I'll remember what sport we're watching here eventually. Played to the right corner. Again, the Elks bring the attack with a couple of players. Kudsia able to push it out of play in front of the two Elk River attackers. Here's Ritzenaya shielding the ball, getting possession, and now trying to find a little bit of room, but can't wait that long against a team like Elk River that is going to bring the pressure. Good steal there by Hitty, but stolen right back for the Cardinals by Ava Johnston, but her pass had a little too much on it, played out of bounds along the near side. A throw in for Elk River. Just the first event of a whole year of fun here on CTN as we continue to chronicle the events of Coon Rapids High School sports. We'll have another soccer doubleheader coming up next Tuesday. But before that, the high school football season kicks off on Thursday as the Cardinals host the Hawks from Chaska. Pass way too long, easily scooped up and booted away by Benson. Slowed at midfield by Mackenzie Nash. She's swarmed by white jerseys quickly. Kudsia stopped it up, pushed it ahead. Sent through by Johnston. Cross pass by Kepke, didn't have enough on it, but coming back to battle for it is Naomi Griffith. Here's Ritzenaya. He's had a lot of good touches so far. Cardinals trying to really generate their first real scoring chance, and that's a shot from a real short ankle and taken in the midsection by the goaltender, Jordan Benson. Cardinals trying to keep some pressure on in the Elk River end. Haven't had a lot of opportunity down here thus far. Just over 18 minutes into this first half. High pass settled, but got away, and Nash jumps on it for the Cardinals. Taken right back by Leah Brown, and now booted back toward the back line of defense by the Cardinals. Elks get numbers back. Settled near side by Gacky. Gacky pressured. Ends up out of bounds off Gacky. A throw in for the Cardinals. And we're going to have some more substitutions as Elk River's going to put Abby Barsdorf back on the field along with Paige Crawford. Stephanie Bucalato getting her first minutes for the Cardinals. Throw in will go to Ritzenaya, back to Bucalato. Tried to touch it back to Ritzenaya, had the angle off a little bit. This one played back out near midfield, stopped up, now turned around, and Barsdorf running onto it and running past, right past Karen, but then stepped on the ball. There for support was Leah Brown, put a decent shot on by Gallegos, able to make the stop. And that almost was a very dangerous scoring opportunity. You saw the smile on the face of Abby Barsdorf. She knew she got the step on the Cardinal defender and then just stepped on the ball and left it there. But Brown made sure it wasn't a completely wasted trip downfield as she put a decent shot on and made Gallegos move for the save. Ava Johnston trying to get around some pressure, but taken away from her. She gets it back, but her pass doesn't have enough to get through, and Elk River starts to reset at midfield. Good play on the ball by McKinley Hitty, and now played back. Fan on the pass attempt, but recovered nicely by Callie Petra, and now played too far in front of Leah Brown, scooped up by Gallegos. But quickly turned back around, got away from Brown again, and Gallegos will scoop it up again. This time she goes for the punt. Stopped up near midfield by Crawford for Elk River. Cardinals able to turn it around quickly. Kepke on the far side. Pressured there by Rachel Crawford. Slips it ahead for Ellenbecker along the sidelines. Ellenbecker trying to get it back to Kepke. Pass was a little behind. Crawford broke it up. Elk's able to turn it around. Stopped up by Johnston. Played back near side for Naomi Griffith. Griffith trying to get around Hitty, but pressured. Gets it into the corner. Crossed by Taylor out front. And just a spinning opportunity as Kepke couldn't put it on net. Tried to battle, got it back momentarily. Now played out by the Elks. Bucalato knocks it down. Elks able to regain control and clear it back out for Barsdorf near midfield. Barsdorf pressured by Kieran. Plays it back near side for Brown. Brown steps around the defense of Lodato. Kieran will play it back to her keeper, and Gallegos will send the boot out. Stopped up again by Crawford. Crawford looking for Barsdorf, but it was stopped up. Kudzia moving it ahead. And Kepke trying to find Ellenbecker. Pass a little too far. Kepke overran it. It ends up out of bounds. And more substitutions for the Elks.
Crawford and number 22, Galante, for the Elks.
Kudzia stopping that one up. Can't keep it in bounds. Oh, they're going to say it went out off of Elk River, so it'll be a Coon Rapids throw-in. Kudzia, one of the Cardinal captains, along with Karen, the two defenders. And the goaltender, Jalivia Gallegos. Rachel Crawford pushing it ahead, wants Barsdorf. Trying to cross out front. Gallegos will smother it before Brown can get there. Naomi Griffith with speed past midfield. Trying to move it ahead, and that's stopped up by the Elk River defense. Good steal there, though, by Peyton Taylor. Puts a shot on, but it skips once in a relatively easy save as Jordan Benson was in just the right spot to keep her team with the 1-0 lead here. Coon Rapids over the last couple of minutes, a little more possession time in the Elk River end. Still not really any great scoring opportunities. Elks have had a couple, most coming courtesy of Abby Barsdorf right there. She pushes it ahead for Brown. Karen gets there first, gets it turned around. It's going to go out of bounds right in front of the Cardinal bench. Ritzenaya looking for some room, looking for some help. Pressured by Paige Crawford. Pass taken away by Barsdorf. Barsdorf crosses over. Good shot, but it's going to miss just wide. And it'll be another Coon Rapids goal kick. 8 shots attempted, 4 of them on goal for Elk River thus far. Coon Rapids 3 shots attempted, all on goal. Just about 15 minutes remaining in this opening half. Elks that 1-0 lead on the Barsdorf goal in the 4th minute. Pass skips off the foot of Haberman out of bounds. Elk River gets it in quickly. Barsdorf a shot. It goes up, over, and out of play. Oh, offside called before the shot. So it'll be a free kick for the Cardinals. She's definitely a dangerous player, and the Elks are going to try to find her as often as they can. And there you see it, certainly behind the defensive line before the pass was played her way. Maddie Karen will handle the free kick. Ritzenaya near midfield. Trying to use her speed to get around Red Penning, and does. Gets a little bit of room into the offensive end. Stops up, turns, looking for some help. Plays it back now for Haberman. Haberman into the middle. Coming back to it is Peyton Taylor. Haberman, not a lot on that shot. Just an easy save again for the netminder, Jordan Benson. So now that very special guest that I had talked about earlier in the broadcast, joining me now, former Coon Rapids girls soccer coach and hockey or in soccer knowledge extraordinaire of Jeff DeJoy.
Hi, Joe. Nice to see you.
Thanks for being here. Glad you could make it with Howie off in the Pixie Sticks semifinals. I was going to be lonely, but glad to have you. And what you've missed thus far, an Elk River goal in the 4th minute, and the Elks doing a nice job of pressuring the ball and keeping possession in the Cardinal end thus far.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game with kind of the Elk River team a little bit more experienced with some returning people that they had counted on from last year returning, and kind of a turnover from the previous team that the Cardinals had. So we'll see if inexperience can put up a good battle against some of the more experienced people.
Well, and it's been quite clear early on that they are going to feed Abby Barsdorf as much as possible. She did get their goal early on, and they're trying to get her the ball as often as they can. The Cardinals, have had a little bit more possession over the last couple of minutes. Into the Elk River end, just not able to materialize into great scoring opportunities thus far.
Yeah, Coach Stoiter likes to play a system that is pretty consistent from year in and year out. They like to get the ball in and then knock it wide and try to get some people overlapping down the wings, and they're really, really big on crosses, and they'll try to be at the end of crosses and tentatively score a lot of goals from out front from crosses out wide. So, if the Cardinals are aware of that and kind of can get some bodies back, recover toward the middle, and be aware of that ball down the line, they should be able to defend pretty well.
Well, and of course, big soccer fan Jeff DeJoy. Great experience for you last week.
Yes, I was able to fly to London and watch a Premier League game, which was sort of one of my lifelong goals. So I've made it to a World Cup for both male and female teams now, and then I made it for English Premier League games. So get the chance to travel a little bit and see some soccer, which is obviously my passion, and just enjoying it immensely.
Now, obviously, in your second year of quote-unquote retirement, this time of year, does it? How is your time? Is it thinking, oh my goodness, I have all this time, or is it, boy, do I miss being out on the soccer field every day?
You miss it. You miss it. You make a commitment, and it becomes your life. And around the 4th of July, you start planning and getting ready for fall sports. And so really the 4th of July is the end of summer when you're into coaching. And now to be away from it, you still miss it. You want to see them do well, and you still have a lot of acquaintances that you've had over the years, and a lot of players you coach still within the program. So you see them in passing here and there, and it's hard being away. I'll put it that way.
Well, and of course you coached the girls lacrosse team as well, and so yeah, a lot of extra time. And I'm sure everybody watching, is somewhat involved or has been involved at some point with high school athletics. So all the extra time that goes into being a coach. It's not just what you see on game days, and it's not even just what the players see on practice days. It's all the behind-the-scenes stuff, the planning for practices, all of the fundraising efforts, and all of the other stuff that are required to make a team go. And again, there's that cross you were talking about, trying to get it back to Barsdorf out front.
Yeah, if coaching was just showing up for games and standing on the sidelines and yelling a little bit, it would be pretty easy. But you're right, there's a lot more to it than what a lot of people can imagine. And it's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff to make a season work. And unfortunately, fundraising is one of it. And sort of the idea of making sort of a game plan for day to day, week to week, season to season is always one of the highlights or one of the challenges I always enjoyed. And now you're away from it, and it's interesting to see how some people perceive people in different lights and see them in different positions, and kind of interested to see where some of the girls are playing compared to where we envisioned them a couple years ago.
Cardinals finally able to alleviate some of the pressure and push it out back into the Elk River end. Unable to keep it in on the near side was Peyton Taylor. Ritzenia's had a number of strong touches early on, and there's obviously year to year from in any high school sport you lose some strong athletes, and one of they lost a pair last year that included one of the most highly competitive and just most intense athletes I have had the pleasure of watching over the last number of years. And so to try and replace her drive, her intensity in the midfield is going to be something for the Cardinals. But Ritzenia has really done a nice job thus far in controlling the midfield, getting it turned upfield, keeping the body between the defender and the ball. There's a good opportunity there for Peyton Taylor, but it was blocked away by the defender out of bounds.
Yeah, one of the hardest things you try to find is somebody who can have a calmness on the ball. And a lot of times if you can put pressure on them and sustain a little bit of pressure, they're more likely to give up the ball than rather to kind of hold it and gain possession and find a safe pass. So yeah, the idea of possession, if you can keep possession, obviously you have your better chance of scoring. And then if you can build on that and look for maybe pick your head up and find some passes, make some good movement, you can make some interesting things happen. But it starts with ball control, and that's what we're seeing right away. We got some good ball control that makes it hard for you to score when you don't have the ball.
Cardinals with the first corner kick opportunity. Peyton Taylor puts it out front. Kepke got there and put it on goal, but a lot of air under the ball. Pretty easy save for Jordan Benson.
Yeah, it was a tough ball just because the ball was going away from goal, and she was in a little bit deeper, roughly about the PK depth, about 12 meters out, and had to come back away from goals to get a foot on it. And it's sort of like golf, then it's more like a pitching wedge that's going to go up in the air if the ball's more toward the back of your stance. So at least you got a piece of it and went to the ball and won the ball, so maybe we can build on that and make something better happen next time.
That one will trickle out of bounds in front of the Cardinals bench, and a Coon Rapids throw in.
It's nice to see Haberman out there taking the throw, and she had a little bit of knee trouble a couple years when she was playing when I was coaching, and nice to see her with no knee brace off. She looks good, she looks healthy. She's a nice competitive, tough player, and to be at 100% health, like it appears to be, is a nice thing for the Cardinals.
Here's Ritzenaya coming back and battling. We're going to have our first penalty called of the game. It's going to go against Elk River's Sophia Tobin, who was tussling there with Ritzenaya. And one thing I've been impressed with early on by Elk River is they pressure the ball quickly.
Yes.
You know, they are not going to give Coon Rapids an opportunity to stop and think what they want to do with the ball. They are there and pressuring right away.
Yeah, they're always real organized. If you look at them, you can see they're very well coached. Their back line is straight and rigid and real organized, and you got a couple of defensive midfielders right up in front of it. And to go north-south or from goal to goal, when you try to attack, you're going to find a lot of trouble because there's a lot of people in front of the ball. So you got to kind of go down the alley, if you will. You got to get wide and then kind of get the ball through in between the layers of people to find some openings. And as soon as Coon Rapids can do that, I think they're going to get an opportunity or two to get a good look at goal.
A little more than 3.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Elk River still that 1-0 lead, but you know their dominance in possession time has certainly diminished over the last 5 to 10 minutes as Coon Rapids has gotten a little bit better at possessing and getting the ball deeper into Elk River territory.
I think what happens is they're starting to win a few balls here, and that makes all the difference. As soon as you can start breathing on the back of the opponent, let them know that you're there, you know, all of a sudden they start to get a little fidgety, and their first touches become a little sloppier, and all of a sudden now that second touch is something you can win. And I think the Cardinals are cranking it up a little bit, and if they can do that for a little bit longer, I think they're going to get some opportunities where they could get a look at goal again.
Elk River trying to push it up the right side. Coon Rapids there to thwart the attempt and bring it back to the near side. Izzy Haberman moving it along. That one stopped up by the face of Sophia Tobin. And now attacking again, and they will attack in numbers. David Johnson trying to make her way around, and good recovery by Kudzia to turn it around, but her pass broken up. Kepke tripped up. Kudzia clears again. Back in midfield is Morgan Gackey. And the Elks try and turn it around. That's stopped up by Haberman again. Short bench for Coach Worley and the Cardinals for the season opener. Just a couple of girls on the bench, and you know, this time of year you're hoping that you'll have more girls at the lower levels who step up and prove that, you know what, coach, I'm ready to come up and play in the night games. And
yeah, I know getting a chance to play on the big field here, the varsity field, is quite the honor, and it takes a little bit of hard work, and sometimes when you have that goal or that desire to play up at the higher level, sometimes you push yourself to the point where you can possibly get injured, and so kind of ends up defeating itself. So hopefully the slim bench is not due to injuries, but more toward just a sustainment of some early season limitations that they may have for numbers maybe.
Into the final minute of this first half. David Johnston got in, got the steal. Here's Ritzenaya. Ritzenaya head up, looking for some help, looking for some room. Step toward the middle. Bumped off the ball, and that will draw the foul.
Looked like a good tackle from up here. Nice little shoulders, good step in and win the ball, but hey, if you're a homer, we'll take it, right?
Well, I, for years, have not I've watched the game for it now many years, and I still don't understand where it becomes a body check and where it becomes just winning position and possession.
Yeah, usually in the rule book it states about a fair shoulder charge, so if that arm is in at your waist, that's supposed to be a good tackle, but apparently not in that case.
It is a lot of refs' discretion, but no discretion when it comes to the sound of the buzzer, and it has sounded. The first half is over. Elk River a 1-0 lead. We will step away, be back with second half action after this. You're watching live coverage of girls high school soccer on CTN.
Oh, hi. I'm TV's Howie Shapiro. And when I'm not announcing CTN sports broadcasts with my sidekick Joe Yen, I'm watching all the other great programs on the CTN Studios YouTube page. There's news stories, great local events, and even full games. You can even watch on any smart device with a YouTube app. Whether that's your phone or a tablet, you can watch CTN's great programming wherever and whenever you want. You can even watch CTN's event coverage live. So no matter where you are, you can share in all the excitement. CTN Studios, building community through cable.
County hopes construction of the overpass can start in March or April and be finished by the start of the new school year.
Yes, I'm gonna live to be 100.
Plants throws deep downfield to Wachi behind the defense, has the catch, and he is gone.
Great showing in the 100 butterfly. She can't quite catch the leader. And it's hard to throw you for a loop.
No, not when it comes to swimming. No, it's not.
Back at the Cardinal Sports Complex, girls soccer season opener, and the Elk River Elks trying to spoil that event for the Cardinals. Came in quickly and scored on their first shot of the game just over 3 minutes in. They were able to spring their star, Abby Barshdorf, behind the defense. Splits the defenders. Gallegos came out to challenge. She slipped the left footer past him. And through about most of the first 15 to 20 minutes, it was the Elks bringing the pressure, maintaining the possession, keeping the ball away from the Cardinals. And they have the statistical edge. But the Cardinals looked a little bit better in the later stages. We're, again, getting some more possession time and getting the ball down deep. And as you talked about, Jeff, it's just maybe one touch or two, a little adjustment, a little tweak here and there before they have a really good chance on goal.
Yeah, it's that final third of the field. If you think of the field into thirds, you got a defensive third, a midfield third, and an attacking third. And that skill and that technique and that final third where you're trying to score, that end has kind of let them down a little bit. They need to connect a little bit better on passes, try to get toward the ball instead of running away from the ball in that area. And, they keep at it and look for the rebound and get some shots on goal, and crazy things happen when you're able to get a shot on goal.
Well, we will take another break, and we will be back with second half action after this. You're watching live girls high school soccer on CTN. little bit of a breeze, very overcast, a cooler afternoon here at the complex. And it'll be downright chilly for the boys' game this evening in comparison to the 90s we were suffering through just a couple weeks ago. Usually, Jeff, it's this part of August when you deal with the heat and humidity. And so I guess this is, especially for soccer athletes that run, up to 10 miles during a game, this is a nice break.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the dog days of summer, but tonight is very comfortable for a player. It's ideal that you can run forever. It's a little bit of a breeze. The temperature is definitely something that you won't worry about overheating or they're not properly hydrated and stuff. So yeah, it's a nice night to play. Another story maybe if you're in the stands watching, though, I guess.
Well, and I'm pretty sure that by this point in their soccer careers that the soccer parents are well aware and come prepared.
Well, it's interesting to see if they've made that transition from lawn chairs along the sidelines to just being able to handle bleachers now.
Elk River trying to put some pressure on early here in half number 2. Get it back to Barchdorf right away, and she was marked well there by Maddie Karen. Plays it out of danger and allows her team to reset on defense.
Kind of interested. One of the things I'm going to look at this half is sort of the philosophy of the back line of defense for the Cardinals. They're real disciplined in keeping their shape, and the little bit that I've seen so far, they're going to the ball aggressively, but just seem to be caught ball watching a little bit and need to react a little bit faster. So something I'm going to take a preference on and make sure we get a good look at that for the second half.
Well, and this is a big part of what Coach Worley wanted to see is stringing some passes together and attacking as a team. Something that he felt they didn't do as much or do as well last season as he would have liked. Build an attack down the field, trying to attack in numbers. And the Cardinals are going to be offside here.
And it goes back again to that whole possession thing. If you're comfortable with the ball at your feet and then can build on that to be comfortable with a little bit of pressure around you, pressure on your back, pressure on your side, pressure on your front, and then still be able to possess the ball, you can complete a lot more passes. But a lot of times people, not just girls, but people in general, start to feel that pressure, and the first thing they want to do is just clear that as far as possible, and then you're basically giving back the ball to the opponent again, and that makes it a long afternoon.
Had a visit during halftime from junior varsity coach Shelby Zimmel. JV girls winning a 3-2 game this afternoon, so a nice way for them to get their season started.
Yeah, it sounded like they played well, and their numbers were down a little bit too, but it's one of those things, you get a win or two underneath your belt, and then you can start believing things that maybe you didn't think were possible early, and she's got them off to a good start, so that's great news.
Molly Terabeza with a hat trick in that contest for the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's not too bad, huh?
It's a good way to start your year.
Yeah, what the heck.
It's getting to that point, Jeff, and I know that you watch, and we talk about it, Howie and I, quite a bit. We're getting to the point where now I'm starting to know more and more of the Cardinal athletes on a more personal level because. Oh my goodness, my kid's a sophomore.
It's a whole different ball game when you start to know them, isn't it?
It is a little bit, and it's different but the same, and it's it's a great big part of why we enjoy doing what we do so much is the quality of kids we have come across over the years here in Coon Rapids, and just some great kids that we've had the pleasure of getting to know and watch. And it's the same now, knowing them as not only as athletes on the field, but as friends and classmates of of my son. I had the opportunity over the summers. We were also talking about it during the summer to coach the baseball team, and probably my last opportunity to coach my son in any sport, because he's reached that age where dads don't coach much anymore, and that's okay. It's just fine with me. It's even more fine with him. But a great group of kids that I had, and it'll be fun to see them as they come up. We had a championship season, made it to a state tournament, had a whole lot of fun, and there's some kids on that team that I think will be really fun to watch, and I expect to see making the varsity ranks here in the next couple of years. And then I can say, hey, I coached him. It's all about the coaching you got. This shot from a tough angle, and again, getting way underneath it, was Elena Schoenfelder, and another goal kick for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think getting back to what you were saying, I think, as your son is being on the other end of not just dad, but now dad as the coach, it's going to be a little bit rough for him, but then when he starts to realize the time that you put in and some of the time that you were able to spend together and enjoy both the ups and the downs of individual games and individual seasons, when it's all over, he'll look back and be very, very grateful for the time and the commitment that you put in. So I commend you on that.
I'm not going to hold my breath. It'll be a while before he comes to that, but I agree. I believe at some point he will enjoy it. I'm sure that there were times on both soccer and lacrosse pitches that you and Sam didn't exactly see eye to eye. And
well, there's many car rides home that were not very enjoyable, but now looking back, it only made us closer, and that we went and had some common, frustrations and common victories as well, and never look back and regret any of that time together. Interesting to see the Cardinals now got a couple people loose in the middle now that are not marking people, and we'll see how they react if the ball gets put into play here, with the middle being only occupied by one Elk River person, but then there are 3 Cardinals there, and kind of watching to see how they choose to man mark the Elk attackers up top.
Well, you talked about it toward the end of the first half about Elk River putting a lot of numbers between the ball and the goal down deep, and the Cardinals bringing in some more numbers. That shot knocked away by Gallegos. Barsdorf gets there, and her pass attempt knocked out the end line. So this will be the first corner kick opportunity for the Elks.
Yeah, Jolivia's real long. She was a varsity goalie for me when she was a freshman, and she always has been real long, which makes it intimidating to shoot on. And just it's nice to see that she stuck it out as a captain this year, and hopefully her leadership will push them to levels that maybe they didn't think they could achieve earlier.
Going to the back corner and in a good spot, but didn't quite get the right angle on it. Was Carmen Galante in the right spot, but just didn't get the right angle and went up and over. It's a good set piece. It's a really good boot from Schoenfelder. Cleared across over everybody, and all alone at the back post was Carmen Galante. Just sent it up and over.
Yeah, probably her eyes were as big as saucers looking at that thing, and she thought maybe what she had to do is put a little more juice on it. And sometimes all you got to do is get a foot on it, and the pace of the ball coming into the foot is going to produce a hard enough pace to get past the goalie if you just hit it squarely.
Elks again able to stop things up in midfield, get it turned back around in their direction. Galante on the near sidelines. Good little touch pass by Johnson back to the corner, but had a little too much on it, and it'll be a Coon Rapids throw-in.
One of the things I've noticed that Coach Worley's put into play is that the girls are real disciplined in that they don't like to play a lot of balls up and over the top, and a couple reasons for that. It's the easier ball to trap and to do something with if it's on the ground. The only other thing is it sometimes doesn't stretch the field like you need to do. If all you do is play to feet, play to feet, play to feet, then it kind of creates a predictable environment where the defense starts cheating up, and it kind of makes it hard to get in back of the defense. So you know, hopefully every once in a while they'll vary it and try to put a ball over the top just to keep the Elk defenders honest and make the Cardinals less predictable up top.
One sent over the top, and Cardinals were offside anyhow.
I think if the Cardinals can change the ball to the far post, it looks like a couple times that they've attempted to, and both times they were offside, but the Elk defenders seem to be ball watching again and kind of napping, and I think they can get in if we can change that ball, a flatter ball across the face of the goal instead of angled toward the goal. So if they can do that, I think we're going to find some really good scoring opportunities come up.
A little bit of an elbow shrug there, a little bit of a shiver. We'll get the penalty call, and the Cardinals take possession. Kavanaugh from a ways out, misses wide. A goal kick coming up for the Elks.
One thing you notice is that the Elk forwards are a lot closer together, and typically they play like a 4-4-2, meaning they got 4 defenders, 4 mids, and 2 forwards. And that kind of system, we usually always talked about having maybe a 10-yard leash connecting the 2 forwards together so you could play some combination play up top, and that's what I'm seeing is a lot of combination play, a lot of using your partner and passing and then moving and then getting the ball back. And the Cardinals seem to be a little bit wider up top, so it becomes more of an individual effort when it comes time to get that ball toward the goal. So we'll see if the conflicting ideas or philosophies can produce something on the field.
Throw in was just a bit too far for Koepke. The goal kick sent right back out of bounds along the near side by Carmen Galante. Oh, that one slipped past the defender, and Barstorff ran onto it. Tipped away from her, though, by Lodato. Long angled shot right on goal, but Gallegos right where she needed to be to make the save look easy.
Yeah, good angle by Jolivia. Easy save for her. Good, strong, solid hands. No worry at all.
Yeah, that's one thing you talked about her being long. I don't know exactly how tall she was, but I did notice it in the preview interviews. Big difference between her and Maddie Karen.
A little bit, yeah.
I was looking up to one, and well, about eye to eye with Maddie.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's tall and yeah, long limbs, a lot of arms, a lot of legs.
Yep.
Good athletic goalkeeper as well, as we've already seen here this evening. She moves well. She gets herself in position, and that's half a goaltending. If you get yourself in the right position, make it look easy.
Exactly. Yep. Getting those angles down is one of the toughest things you can do. It's a big goal. You know, it's 24 feet wide by 8 feet tall, and it's a lot of square footage for somebody to cover. But if you can play the angles a little bit,
boots it up and over. See, now that was a good example there. You know, there was no foul called, but it looks to me like and it was just before that she kind of threw the shoulder down on Maddie Karen, kind of flung her off a little bit of a solid body check, but again, it's all about the ref's discretion.
Exactly. Another nice thing that you would have noticed, we talk about cutting down the angle. Not only do you want to be side to side cutting down the angle, but the further you come out will also cut down the amount of the goal that people have the opportunity to shoot at. And Jolivia was a good probably 10 yards out of her goal, as well as covering the angle from side to side. So that made the shot that the Elk player had even less likely to go in, because there was very, very little room to shoot at.
Yeah, the only one that got past her was she came out to challenge. Here's an opportunity in close. Turning back, the shot, huge save, and diving out to cover is Gallegos. A great opportunity for Ava Johnson as she stopped up, found herself enough room, and put a hard shot on. But Gallegos makes the save, and then even in close like this, doesn't let the rebound get far enough away from her, and she's able to dive out and recover it.
No, you look at her, she's got a nice low, she's getting wide, and just real quick reaction. She deadens the ball so it falls to her feet, and then she covers it up before any more harm can be done. So another just quick cat-like reflexes with that save. Nice job.
Yeah, that was a great scoring opportunity, but smothered by Jolivia Gallegos. And I was just saying, the one that Elk River got past her, Gallegos came out to challenge after her defender was beat, and Barsdorf just slipped it past her. Half a second more, and Gallegos would have closed the gap on her and been able to make the save. Ritzenaya nearly had an opportunity in close, battling a couple of defenders for the ball. This one's going to trickle out of bounds in front of the Coon Rapids bench. Jump the start on the throw-in. I believe that's Molly Terabeza, who just checked into the game wearing shirt number 21.
Nice. Let's see what she's got with the big girls. You can see if she can make it a 4-goal afternoon and get her first varsity goal maybe, huh?
Karen in a battle for the ball. This one played near side, cutting back is Emerson, knocked away out of bounds by the Cardinal defense.
Yeah, hopefully Faith Kudzia, that's on the left defense, is starting to read the player a little bit here. The player that she's marking has become pretty predictable, and they like to cut the ball in, so they're getting the ball wide. They're cutting it in back toward the inside of the field, and then they're trying to beat them inside, and Faith has just got to hold her ground and not bite on that move and just keep the girl outside, and no harm will be done from that wide area.
There's a shot from the wide area, and again, Gallegos right where she needed to be, takes it easily.
Yeah, I think Jolivia will take any shot that they want to give her from outside the 18, so she'll gobble that up, no problem at all. It's those ones inside the box that you got to be careful of. So if they're doing the job properly, like the defense are doing, those shots from the 18 are a little worry at this point.
Good attack there by Ava Johnston to win the ball. The pass had a little too much on it. Ritzenaya couldn't stop it up. Jordan Benson boots it away. This one just tapped back to Gallegos where she can scoop it up. An interesting fact, Cardinal fact, when we began our Coon Rapids coverage so many years ago, the Coon Rapids Cardinals girls hockey team had a goaltender named Jordan Benson.
That's right. I do remember her. That is a good trivia, Joe. You are full of it today, I guess.
Oh.
I mean, trivia. Do you remember where Jordan Benson went on and played college hockey at?
I don't think she went to St. Thomas, but part of me wants to say St. Thomas, although I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was not for sure about that one, but
well, because she would have graduated probably 99. I think she was a year ahead of Christofferson.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
So because I think we saw her for 2 years in the goal for the Cardinals when we started. It may have been St. Thomas as well, because at that time, Coon Rapids sent a lot of girls. Well, throughout the years, Coon Rapids has sent a lot of girls to go play college hockey at the University of St. Thomas.
That's right. Heidi Hanula is there right now for her senior year, having quite a bit of success in hockey. Unfortunately, didn't play lacrosse.
Well, don't get me started on the virtues of hockey versus, well, all other sports. But
I'm not worthy. I get it.
But Heidi is a very good player, and her youngest sister now playing varsity tennis this season for the Cardinals, Grace.
Mm-hmm. And sister Jane just graduated a couple years ago, is going on to get her grad school degree now. I'm not sure if she's become a doctorate or what, but she's going to be a physical therapist. So I saw her just about a week ago.
Nice move in the corner by Ritzenaya. Tried to feed Kepke out front, but it was broken up. Great move, though, in that corner to find a little bit of room. But you talk about how disciplined that Elk River defense is, getting a lot of numbers, a lot of white jerseys back there. So if you're only attacking with the two, you're going to be up against it because they've got the numbers back there.
Yeah, one of the things that you try to do is to try to put the ball in such a place where the defense is moving back toward their own goal. So any type of movement in that direction is just really bad news. It's hard to do anything constructive with any driven ball, and a lot of times you can ding it off somebody and it'll either go toward their own goal or maybe even in their own goal. So Elk River's been real deep so far, which hasn't put them in that type of predicament that we're talking about. And that ball back to the penalty area was a real good ball and a good scoring chance for the Cardinals. Got some loose bodies there they got to tighten up on.
Johnson's pass stopped up, but the foul called. Elk River will have a free kick, and this is a spot where you can do some different things.
Yeah, interesting to see. The Cardinals are giving them, looks like about 20, 23 yards of freedom before they draw their line at the top of the 18.
This one bounces through, all alone to knock it home.
Offsides, though.
But yeah, Elk River offside.
Yep. So when you drop back so far like that, you got to make sure that you win that first ball. If that ball can drop to the ground, then really you have not succeeded in doing what you're trying to do and win that first ball. That first ball you can see is driven in. Got a couple Cardinals there waiting for it. One gets bumped out of the way, and the other person didn't get to it first. Luckily, the player on that weak side was in an offside position.
I think it was actually Johnson that was offside. It was Leah Brown who put it home. But either way, the offside called. And the Cardinals fortunate. Trying to slip it behind for Johnson. She's offside again.
Yep, Faith got caught up. She made the decision that she was going to go up and win the ball, and then was caught up too high, and the Cardinals really didn't do any type of rotation over to fill that hole. And again, luckily, Maddie Karen drew a hard line and got the Elk River forward to go past her and get into an offside position to rescue the Cardinals there.
Coming through with speed is Schoenfelder. Got it ahead to Brown, her pass.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Little trip
And
from behind, huh?
Johnson tripped up the Cardinal defender, but Gallegos got the ball either way. Yeah, the Elks aren't. I don't know that they have anybody on the field that is particularly big, but they are definitely physical. They like to lean into the defender or the offending player. They are going to mark tight. They are going to get the body on them and try and just angle them off the ball.
Yeah, and they are definitely scrappy. And one of the things when you grow up and you're not the tallest girl in the field, and sometimes you have to work extra hard to earn respect. And there's not a lot of real tall Elk River girls, but they definitely work hard. They're physical despite their size, and they really want to win that ball, and they're giving Cardinals fits here for a while. See the close proximity in the middle of the field there, Joe. The center and the left wing there. So you got Leah Brown, and then you've got Barstorff kind of real close, playing close together. So if one gets it, they kind of pass the other, and kind of like a give and go as you would in basketball. And we got only one Cardinal marking the two of them right now, and they got to be a little bit more aware of that situation in the middle of the field, because they're going to sooner or later get hurt by that.
Brown from the left side, shot smothered up by Gallegos.
Yeah, Elk River stepped up the last couple minutes here, and has got a couple good quality shots on goal. And it's that possession game again. Cardinals got to possess the ball and find the ball to feet here, and see if put a couple passes together for a goal.
There's a shot right there, and just getting a fingertip on it was Jordan Benson. That one nearly found that far corner, and now the Cardinals with a corner kick.
Very good shot. A little one-on-one, got past two girls, shot from the right side of the field to the near post, back across the goal. Nice save, unfortunately diving, getting some fingertips on, pushing it wide for a Cardinal corner kick.
Went right at the net, and Benson swallows it up. Oh, she knocked it back out of, I thought she kept it in bounds, but not so much.
So interesting right now just to see what kind of the Cardinals have in mind for this corner kick. Got a couple people real far away. There's nobody inside the 18, nobody even closer than the penalty kick spot. So for the ball to go all the way to the far post, it can take quite the kick. Maybe she can.
Headed away by the Elk River defender. Ritzenaya was charging for it, got tripped up a little bit, but no call. Down a little less than 13 and a half minutes to play.
So at this point, being up only one goal, do you think there's a little bit of nerves and worry in the mind of Coach Stoiter from Elk River, knowing that they got the early goal, but just a single goal can tie it? Whether one is going to be enough is going to be, I guess, we'll have to wait and see.
I would assume that he's a little nervous. They lost a 2-1 overtime game in their opener, so every coach would love to have cushion.
Yep.
Especially as you get into the later stages of the game, and then you see an opportunity like that last shot by the Cardinals that nearly tied it up. In soccer, just like hockey, just like really almost any sport that baseball, where they're one run, and even in football where it's a single score.
Yep.
One
mistake, right?
Yeah, you don't want to be one score away in the lead as you get to the late stages.
Yeah, people always used to tell me that there's a saying that a 2-goal lead in soccer is the hardest lead to protect, and I always told them in return that I'd rather have a 2-goal lead than a 1-goal lead anytime. Well,
and that saying has been used in hockey forever as well. Worst lead in hockey. Well, I'm with you as a former player, as a former coach, and certainly as a goalie, Dad. Yep. I will take a 2-goal lead over a 1-goal lead
any day,
anytime. Mm-hmm. I'll take a 3-goal lead over a 2-goal lead.
Yep.
And so on and so forth.
Yeah, they're right now Elk River's one mistake away from being tied.
Oof. That one nearly found its way in. Not the best shot or hardest shot of the game for Barstorff, but it's spun up and over, and I think it caught Gallegos by surprise how high it was. Unfortunately, it didn't come down until it was over the crossbar.
Yeah, interesting to see, because that was the another left-footed shot, and the goal that she scored in the first half was a left-footed shot, so I didn't see her favoring the left foot at all.
Barsdorf with the steal puts the shot on, and this time Gallegos makes the save look relatively easy.
She seems to have two good feet, though. She's comfortable going to her left foot, she's comfortable going to her right foot, and Cardinals are going to have to make sure they're well aware of where she is the remaining 11 minutes here.
Barsdorf pressuring on Karen. Getting a little scrappy down there.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to see what referees call and what they let go.
Yeah, and if there was one steadfast rule and not so much left up to interpretation, it'd be easier to understand. And I think it's confusing for a lot of people a lot of times, and even for the players. That's one of the things. If it could be called consistently, then they would know where to kind of fall in between to what's acceptable and not. And unfortunately, you got to try a few things, and you find out the boundaries as you advance in the game.
Yeah, and it seems, obviously, so much of it is referee discretion in so many different sports, but it's hard for the players to figure it out when the same type of action can be a foul at one point of the game and not a foul at the other point of the game.
And sometimes it's the same thing that gets called in one part of the field won't get called in another part of the field too, which is always a little disturbing.
Here's an opportunity for Barsdorf down the right wing. Nice recovery by Kieran. Up the sideline and out of play. Tried to get the throw in, but we've got some Elk River subs waiting.
Yeah, Maddie Karen has done a nice job in filling both the wings when the ball gets down behind the outside defender. She's done a nice job cleaning up and getting the ball wide and out of harm's way.
Kepke challenging, battling there with Crawford. Toward the middle of the field, it's Naomi Griffith getting it back to Kepke. Her pass ahead broken up. Johnston able to slow things up for the Cardinals. Ellen Becker on the far side.
You got numbers here, 3v2. Whoops, got a little too north-south. You look out in the field, Joe, and you got you kind of a big hole in the middle of the field. The Cardinals are a little bit forward, and the Elk River Elks are a little bit forward, and you've got any quick counter. If you could find any of these open people at midfield, you think that tactically would be a good situation to try to counter and get the ball upfield quickly. And they seem to be bypassing those open people in favor of looking forward at maybe some of the forwards that are covered instead. And it just takes one time for them to look up and find the open player, like right there, and you can see that there's going to be some trouble on our end of the field.
Karen able to take a good angle on Barsdorf and play it out of bounds in front of her.
Again, Maddie Karen coming through. Ball gets played in behind the defense and comes through and does a nice job cleaning up. Now if we could just get a little more pressure and get that ball before it's delivered down the wing, and I think Coach Worley would be a lot happier.
Rachel Crawford on the near side. Can't get around Kudzia as it's poked away out of bounds. Barsdorf will play it back. Ritzenaya tried to sneak in and challenge Schoenfelder. Ellenbecker trying to push it free. Redpenning pushes it into the corner for the Elks. Kieran over to challenge Brown.
Looks like they did call the foul there. They didn't allow the advantage to see if it was going to happen. They called the foul right away, so we got a free kick from about 17 yards out from goal. Looks like it's right on the edge of the 18-yard box. Probably an in-swing or a right-footed person coming and trying to get that ball toward the far post. See what the Cardinals do for marking. There's 3 Elk River girls at far post. And almost 2 of them got it.
But it ends up off the foot of Borsdorf, out of bounds, and a goal kick for the Cardinals.
Yeah, we got to have a little sustained pressure now. We're down to 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game, and we really got to have a big breakthrough and just something dynamic to happen, whether it be a nice win of the ball and a little momentum build up, or a nice maybe through ball in back of the defense, something to change it up and give the Cardinals a little bit of a spark now, because they haven't had the ball done in the Elk River end very much the last few minutes, and it seems like the more dangerous opportunities have been coming from the side of the Elks instead of the red and white and black.
And it is very hard to score from your defensive end.
It's a long kick. It is.
Trying to build something down the far sideline, tipped away out of bounds by the Elks. Ritzenaya, I think the Elks have figured out that she's dangerous.
Yes.
Every time she touches it, she's got a body on her immediately.
Yeah, I would say she's easily the Cardinals' most dangerous player, and every time she does touch the ball, you know, she does something that is noteworthy. I mean, she doesn't make too many mistakes. She's a very dynamic player, and you know, we got to hopefully find the ball at her feet quite a few times as the game winds down here. Here's that ball down the wing, the cross to the middle.
Not a lot on it. Gallegos easily scoops it up, but the Cardinals have to be able to turn it around and get it all the way down the field now. As you talk about the time ticking away, under 3.5 now.
Yeah, they got to change fields like they're doing here, attempting maybe come down to another side, just get a different look, maybe attack a different defender, maybe have the opposite forward run off a different defender instead of with the ball, be without the ball, and just change it up a little bit, make it more challenging for them to defend us. Ooh, there's a change field.
A good opportunity in close, and there is your insurance goal, as nobody caught Carmen Galante moving down the back field, and the Elks able to get it to her over the top. Take advantage of the aggressive defense for the Cardinals and get some insurance here.
Yeah, it was a good change of field. Tactically, the ball came in from the right flank. You can see here the ball was over the top. Big change of field. Galante had calm presence one time, bringing it down into her stride, and the second one is a nice right step, in-step shot right into the open goal. Although Jolivia Gallegos came out to try to cut down the angle, it was just a well-placed ball on the surface of the field, and she couldn't do anything about it.
And so now the Elks with a 2-0 lead are not going to back off. They're going to continue to try and pressure, keep the Cardinals bottled up.
Yeah, I think that was probably the backbreaker there. You know, one goal, all you need is one mistake, and you're back in the game, and now they got a 2-goal lead, and you know, just 2 minutes to go. It's going to be awful tough for the Cardinals to overcome that second goal, unfortunately.
And here's Brown, a good opportunity, and make it a 3-goal lead.
Well, unfortunately, I think the Elks have found an Achilles heel in the Cardinals' defense there, and that's to get the ball to the far side, and got a little bit of lax marking on the right flank there. another ball over the top. This time it wasn't the first touch that went in, but it was the second touch to another unmarked person in the middle of the field that gave the Elks a third goal. But again, a strong delivery from the right side all the way across the field. You get a header into another open field player, and then the first touch is into the back of the net. So Macy Ledau did get a head on it. Unfortunately, it did not clear the area, but more bounced up and kind of glanced over to the Elk River player, who then headed it to the advancing player for their third goal.
Yeah, Galante getting a goal and an assist less than a minute apart. And second point of the game for freshman Ava Johnson as well. She's got a goal and an assist. She assisted on the first goal of the game back in the 4th minute of the first half.
Yep, I think the ball across down the wing and getting across is starting to pay off big dividends here, like we talked about in the beginning. It's sort of what they're known for. You know, their identity is that cross to the far post, and we just haven't reacted very well in the last couple minutes here, and it's ended up 2 times being on the scoreboard for the opposition, unfortunately.
So erase the last 3 minutes. Think about what you did well for the and erase the first 4 minutes. And think about what you did well for the 83 minutes in between. What you still need to work on, there were spurts there where they did get good possession time and put a little bit of pressure on, but definitely need to get more quality scoring opportunities per 80-minute contest if they hope to have find a little more success this season.
Yeah, Coach Worley's a very positive guy. He's very good at instructions. He knows the game very well. He can find positives in a hurricane, unfortunately. So he'll find something positive, but yet he'll come with a big game plan ready tomorrow to fix what was broken, unfortunately, in those 7 minutes, and they'll be better come out ready for the next game.
So not the result the Cardinals were hoping for in the opener, but very beginning of a long season. And we hope to see a lot of it. We'll see more soccer next Tuesday. But before then, we've got boys soccer still yet tonight. It's a home opening doubleheader for conference opening doubleheader for the Cardinal soccer clubs. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us, continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including my guest announcer, Jeff DeJoy. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us. My name is Joe Young. Good night.